Welcome to 49ers After Dark. We're your hosts, Cohn and Jessie Naylor. How you doing, Jesse?
I'm doing well, Grant. How are you?
Pretty good. Title of the show is Are George Kittle and Trey Lance Suddenly Friends? There is a new twist in the As the World Turns saga of George Kittle and Trey Lance's buddy relationship. We're going to get to that.
I
But
heard
as
it's
always,
a two-man wolf pack.
we don't want to just start with Trey Lance because we're going to get there. There's more to the team. It's not just the Trey Lances. It's the 49ers. So I want to start big picture today. Curveball. Jesse, what is the biggest reason to think the 49ers will win the Super Bowl this season? Because on this show, I talk a lot about why they're just not quite good enough. Well, funny things happen in sports. Things could break their way. Give me the number one reason why they will win the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, I mean, do you mean why the Eagles will win the Super Bowl? I thought this was an Eagles show. I wasn't
Touché.
prepared for all of this.
Touché.
No, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I mean, talent. I mean, let's just be real. Quarterback position aside, the 49ers have arguably the most talented roster in football. And so if they can get a little bit of plus from the quarterback position, it's probably enough. I mean, realistically, you look at what's held them back from winning a Super Bowl thus far, it's been the quarterback position. I think that regardless of who it is that they choose, if they go with Brock Purdy, we've already seen it. If they choose to go with one of the other guys, not Sam Darnold, but Trey Lance, and have him be the starter, then that's telling you that they think he's better than Brock Purdy, which means that they've got an upgrade over Jimmy Garoppolo, which has ultimately held them back. And I think the roster is just uber talented, man. I really do. And I think that is the biggest reason why the 49ers would win the Super Bowl.
Okay. That was a good answer. All right. I'm going to go a different direction. I'm focused. I mean, the defense is a constant. The defense has been great. Don't know that you can win a Super Bowl with defense anymore. And it's not the Niners' fault. It's kind of what the league wants. So I'm focused on the offense. And, they say you really can't win a Super Bowl with a running game anymore. Niners came so close a few years ago. And you could argue that they would have pulled it off if Kyle had just committed to running the ball with a lead. You could argue that they would have won a Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo, like this generation's Brad Johnson, just by running the ball. And Kyle stopped. So let's say that, this year they may have the strongest running back room they've ever had. Now, Raheem Mostert was special, and you can't replicate what he did. But, I mean, between McCaffrey and Mitchell and Mason and Debo and now maybe Laburn too, it just seems like you got like five guys. And if Ty Davis Price wants to contribute, that's six. It seems like what happened last year was the running back position fell apart in week one, both last 2 years. If that doesn't happen this year, and let's say Trey Lance starts and he adds to the running game, like this is a team that could legitimately have the best rushing attack they've had under Kyle Shanahan. And maybe they buck the trend and actually run the ball. Maybe as they go along, Trey Lance improves and is not just a one-dimensional offense. I guess like the biggest reason to think the Niners win a Super Bowl this season is the running game should allow some quarterback, preferably Trey, to get his feet underneath him and then come along for the party and then win the Super Bowl. I guess that's it.
I mean, that would be huge. And if you think about it, look at the running games that the 49ers have put forth with Kyle Shanahan. If this is the best running offense they have, that says something. And that probably is good enough to win a Super Bowl. And I think that's a big reason why the 49ers are always in games. And it's why you see them show up on a regular basis. They don't get blown out too often. They're always in games. It's because they have a good defense and a good running game. And if this is the best running game they've had, coupled with a top three defense, it can be hard to beat.
You could really argue that the running game is the engine of the team because it really complements the defense. It's a big reason the defense is so energetic and you have 11 guys flying in the ball. Well, the Niners play a very slow, methodical ball control style of offense, which is good. I mean, it's how you win games if you can also score points, which they were doing with Brock Purdy. If Brock Purdy comes back and they go back to scoring 35 points a game, well, then God love him. That would be another reason to think that they could win the Super Bowl this year. That Brock Purdy will come back, not miss a freaking beat. He's Fran Tarkenton, Kurt Warner mixed in one, little Tom Brady, and Joe Montana sprinkled in. And this is his league now. And this is his world, in fact, and we're just living in it. That could be the case.
Yeah.
That could be the case. Although I think that's kind of down the reasons of to me, this is a running team. And that's how the Shanahans have always been. They got Bobby Turner. That's the ace up their sleeve. If they're gonna win, it's with the Terrell Davis type performance. And they got McCaffrey. I wonder if you asked Bobby Turner, is McCaffrey on that level? Maybe not, but maybe not. But close.
Is it as simple as saying the 49ers win the Super Bowl if Debo and CMC are both healthy and playing top-level football come playoff time?
I don't know.
It might be that
because
simple.
Look at some of these quarterbacks in this league. It's hard to say, but maybe the way, like the Niners style, they came so close to beating the Chiefs this way a few years ago. And you could argue that Kyle blinked. And if he had just stayed true to the identity of the team, that they would have pulled it off. But I don't know. Maybe he disagrees because he started throwing for some reason. I don't know.
Debo was this close to getting MVP if they would have just kept giving him the ball, and that was
Mostert
rookie
was playing
Debo.
well too.
Yeah.
I don't even get. I'll never really understand that one because I mean, well, you had Jimmy Garoppolo, so I get it. He just exudes confidence and helps build. Anyway, those are some reasons to think the Niners will win the Super Bowl. Which games are you most excited about? Travel. It's a good question. Jacksonville. I've always wanted to see what that's about. Never been to Jacksonville. Honestly, I've never been to Jacksonville. That's like a bucket list thing. And Pittsburgh's fun. I've been to Pittsburgh, but not in about 10 years. Same with Cleveland. I think those two places are underrated. They're kind of close to each other. I want to go. It'll be fun. Philly will be cool too.
I'm going to Pittsburgh. I'll be there week 1. I already got my ticket. So I'm excited about that one because it's somewhere I haven't been. And plus, Pittsburgh is a historic team. I think that's another thing is, for me, if I'm going to travel and pay $1,000 to leave the state and go watch a game and do whatever, then it's got to be a historic team or a team with really, really good players that I'm watching that are opposing the 49ers. And I think the Steelers meet the first criteria for sure.
Minneapolis is a great town too. I went there last year for the joint practices. Great food town, almost like on par with Chicago. It's not far from Chicago, but it's a whole different feel from Chicago. It's not on one of those big lakes. It's just got a million little lakes and parks and stuff. And if you've ever seen Purple Rain and you remember those scenes where like Prince is kind of brooding on his purple motorcycle going around town, you know what I'm talking about. It's really nice.
That's it.
So I like pretending I'm in Purple Rain when I'm there. It's a really nice town, and the
visual,
the stadium, just thinking about my whole life when doves cry. The stadium's downtown. I like a downtown stadium. Pittsburgh's got that. Philly's, it's not really downtown. It's like South Philly, although it's not too far. Philly's cool. I like Philly. What else?
Yeah, I really haven't traveled a lot. I mean, I've been to Jacksonville.
DC.
Been to Jacksonville, I've been to Tampa, been to Seattle, now Pittsburgh. I mean, I really haven't been to a lot of stadiums. So
I haven't been to DC since Kyle Shanahan was offensive coordinator for that team. That was the first road trip I ever went to covering this team. It was the Niners in DC, and I really didn't see anything. And I would love that'd be fun. That's gonna be fun. DC,
non-Daniel Schneider owned DC.
John Beck was the quarterback that day. Man, that team sucked. Never really got it with Kyle Shanahan back then, but he's come a long way since the John Beck days. Bold prediction: CMC beats all-purpose record.
Ooh,
I'm afraid that Kyle Shanahan is all Niner right now, and he's gonna this is Kyle's goal for McCaffrey, and he's gonna get McCaffrey hurt like way before the playoffs. Kyle, please don't do this. You don't have to prove the point. Everyone gives you an A+ for the trade. Even me, I was wrong. You were right. Leave McCaffrey alone. Stop. You have Mitchell. Mitchell's like legitimate, like arguably, not even arguably, statistically a better ball carrier than McCaffrey. Use them both. Mason's good too. He's also statistically a better ball carrier than McCaffrey. Like, use all three of them.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. It's okay.
Like, if McCaffrey gets 11 carries, Mitchell probably should get 12. I'm not saying Mitchell should get more touches or snaps than McCaffrey. That's different, but damn, Mitchell's so good. So good. Especially when he's healthy.
If you could keep CMC to 17 touches a game, roughly,
perfect.
That's the way to go.
In the regular season?
Yeah.
Why would you do more? Especially if
Give
you
him
can win.
25 in the playoffs. He can get 25 in the playoffs. Who cares?
I feel like sometimes I'm kind of people are like, why are you whining, Grant? You don't even root for this team, right? But this is the kind of stuff I was saying about Trey Lance last year. Hey, I'm a little uncomfortable with how much they're running Trey Lance. I was saying I'm a little uncomfortable. Week 1 Chicago, that didn't really sit well with me. Please stop running him between the tackles. Please stop. I even said in the keys to the game, don't use him like a fullback. And then week 2, and I was like, maybe I should have been even a bigger whiner about this the whole offseason. So, Kyle, please don't get McCaffrey hurt from overusing him, please. Please. Because you'll say, it's not my fault. And then a lot of people will say, yeah, it's not Kyle's fault. But I'm going to be like, no, it's your fault.
I've been saying it since May.
Because I told you. Yeah, man. Come on. Yeah, so all Niner.
But it is true. I mean, I don't know. There were a lot of games that I remember tweeting out towards the end of the game. Why is CMC still touching the ball right now? What is going on? There's no point in doing this.
It always felt like Kyle was trying to. He got a lot of flack. Like a lot of teams wouldn't have traded that much for a running back, or maybe they would have. But when Kyle did it, people were like, "Oh, that's a bet." I didn't like it. Didn't feel like it was going to move the needle that much with Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback, and I felt like he was being like, "Oh yeah, there's another touchdown, huh? There's another touchdown." It's like, okay, Kyle, you proved your point. You win.
You went DJ Khaled, another one.
Yeah, and another one. All right, you win. Biggest reason to think the Niners will not win the Super Bowl this season. Let's look at it from both sides. We laid out all the things that could go right for them this year. What's the number one reason to think things won't work out in their favor?
Man, you look at that schedule, Grant, and all the travel that they have, all the good teams they have to play. I think it is more imperative than ever that they get the number 1 seed in the NFC and they get that bye week. I really think that's going to be a massive thing, and whether they do or they don't. And for me, I picked them to finish 13-4 and get the number 1 seed. But if they don't get that number 1 seed, I don't think they're making it to the Super Bowl. So that would be the biggest thing for me. They got to finish with that number 1 seed. I don't think they can go the wild card route again because they always seem to just die out at the end. It's like they put in so much effort. They got to go on these big win streaks. There's going to be a ton of travel. They got to get that number 1 seed. So to me, that's what it is.
I like your answer. And to me, it's like looking at the Niners in the best possible light, because to me, the curmudgeon, the glass half empty guy, I'm not looking at the schedule as top 3 in their problems. They got bigger problems in the schedule. And the schedule is a problem. It's a big problem. But they got at least 3 bigger problems from where I'm sitting. And they all start with one guy who we all like and we're all pulling for and we maybe over identify with. Big Kyle, little Kyle Shanahan. I mean, God love him. I just, the quarterback position, well, that's his doing. The offensive line, well, he built it exactly how we were all like, hey, man, Kyle, you sure about Colton McKivitz? You sure about Colton McKivitz? You sure? He's like, yeah, I want it. He's really good. It's what I want. Okay, man, that's who you got. And this is the quarterback room you want. Like, you could have made a play for Lamar Jackson. You could have. You got Christian McCaffrey, moved heaven freaking earth for Christian McCaffrey, but Lamar Jackson, no, let's not even try. Aaron Rodgers, nah, Robert. I want Robert Saleh to have Aaron Rodgers because I'm just a generous person. Plus, I like my quarterback room. Okay, man, this is what you want. And I feel like this is the team you want. It's year 7. You built it exactly how you wanted it. And I don't know that it's going to work, man. But maybe it will. I don't know. Let's see. I really think one of these quarterbacks going to have to really step up and stay healthy. And like, does that ever happen? I mean, both of them together. I don't know.
Okay.
So
let's put aside why, maybe the reasons why they wouldn't necessarily get there. But do you agree with me that regardless of how they go about it, whether Kyle Shanahan figures it out or the schedule isn't as big of an issue, that number 1 seed's important? Like, if they go to the playoffs
absolutely.
and have the number 1 seed, you're feeling exponentially.
I was just trying to have a
confident.
strong take. You're right. I was just trying to have a strong take.
No. The take is fine. Like, there's different ways why they wouldn't get it.
The schedule's a problem, man. I don't see how they get the number 1 seed with the schedule.
It's gonna be tough.
The only thing they have, like the silver lining, is that the Seahawks got a tough schedule too. So they can still win their division, probably maybe with 11 wins, or maybe even 10.
Yeah,
I don't
they
know.
can win the division, but
Yeah, but
Philly has a really tough schedule also.
it's true.
Really tough schedule. And they've got a stretch where I think they play like us, Seattle, Dallas, and Baltimore or something like that, or Kansas City. It's I don't know, whatever it is, it's a really tough 4-game stretch for them. So it's not like they have an easy schedule, but man, that number 1 seed is going to be crucial.
Who's the super random team that's going to be good in the NFC? Considering the
Super
conference is so
random
wide open.
team.
Super random team.
Well, I mean, Detroit
New
wouldn't
Orleans?
fall under that. Carolina. I think Carolina. They have a good defense.
Rookie
They
quarterback.
went and got multiple receivers this offseason, and they've got the quarterback now.
Counterpoint. Frank Reich is awful.
Maybe
That's possible. He might be awful. Although, I don't know. I mean, it's like he had a lot of chances in Indianapolis to do something. Oh, he went to the playoffs a few times. I don't know. We'll see.
He just got every old recycled quarterback of all time, though.
Yeah, Bryce Young. I mean, he could be really good. Anyway, we're getting off track.
The Saints could be that team. I mean, they got Carr, they got Slant God coming back, Michael Thomas.
Is he coming back?
Supposedly he's fully
okay,
there, fully ready to go. Yeah.
So all of it, you got a good defense. You got Michael Thomas coming off like an 8-year layoff. He's probably he's probably 30.
They 30? Just got Olave last year.
Hey, is Kamara on the team still?
Yeah.
Is he?
He's probably to get suspended. But they drafted another running back, so you know.
Okay, I mean that's a team. I'm not gonna say Atlanta. That just feels like I just don't believe in Desmond Ridder, and that's based on nothing.
That's fair, totally fair.
Based on nothing. I don't know why I feel that way. I guess if Brock Purdy can do it. Dave Barclay says, anyone else feel like they're stuck in a Groundhog Day loop with banana hands? Like, where is he going? Where is he going to choke or completely blow it? Who's going to get hurt? Who will be mediocre in starting role? Oh yeah, the Tevin Coleman Award.
Oh man,
who was that last year? Oh, McGlinchey you call it the McGlinchey Award. 5 years in running. I mean, is that going to be Cleveland Farrell this year? Is that going to be Colton McKivitz? Those two spots are a little. Feels like the team is so good. What are you doing? What are you doing starting those? Like, what? Everything else is stacked with depth, and you can't find a second DN. Like what? I mean, maybe Drake Jackson's that guy.
He might be. He might be. And I think that's the way the 49ers are playing. I mean, they've got this cap space that's sitting there. I think they're going to go through camp.
Yeah.
You got guys like Yannick out there, Frank Clark. Yeah. They're going to be there. So maybe they believe in him. We'll see.
Give Drake.
They got money if they don't.
Good point. A lot of those older guys don't even want to go to camp anyway. It's like it's exhausting.
I am surprised that Yannick's not on a roster right now, though. He's a pretty good player, and he's still young. I don't know.
I mean, what you could do if you get older is like, you know what? I don't want to go to camp. I don't want to play for a team that's not good. See, I'll wait. Until isn't that what Ndamukong did last year?
He's doing it again this year. Yeah, he said, "Call me after camp. I'll be available."
I'll see who's good.
Yeah,
who has the best offer, and then I'll go play. 4 or 5 weeks in the regular season and in the postseason.
Isn't Clowney still out there too? There's some guys out there they can go get. So
yeah, so Drake, you get a whole. I mean, audition, no one to compete against. All you got to do is beat Colton McKivitz in the one-on-ones. Can you do it? If not, I bet you they're going to sign someone. Drake, it's on you. It's all on you.
Is it weird that Kyle Shanahan seems to be treating the right tackle and other defensive end position much like he should have with his rookie quarterback and just given them the job and said, "Hey, it's yours. Don't worry about it. We're not going to have a veteran that the team loves sitting behind you to try to figure it out." It's a little interesting.
It is kind of weird how Kyle Shanahan is like, rings his hands over certain positions, but like right tackle, he's like, man, this guy started 5 games. Like, what's the big deal? He could definitely block Myles Garrett. It's no problem. And Zadarius Smith. Dave Barclay says you missed Super Chats in the beginning. Oh, my bad. You didn't have to tell me. You didn't have to pay me $10 to tell me. I was going to find them. What you need to know is that StreamYard changed their system.
They did.
Now, it's so better, overdue.
Though. No, yes. it's so much better.
It's so good.
They got the starred things to the right, and it stars them automatically. Yes.
Yep. So it's really impossible to miss them. I'm sorry that I missed him, but I'm going back now. Jeremy Price. What up, fellas? Our defensive coordinator will keep Kyle grounded is the reason why we'll win. Us too. What about me? Dude, hold on. You give me no credit for keeping Kyle grounded. I'm
Quality control actually was the only answer as to why we will win the Super Bowl. What was I thinking?
Hell yeah, dude. Quality control is so underrated. It's a whole organizational effort.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Dave Barkley. I really did miss you. My bad. What up, guys? Just got home in Montana and getting to catch the whole show. Love you guys. Love you too. I
Thank
want to
you,
go
man.
to Montana. I wish there was a football team in Montana so we could do that. But it seems like it's not like a downtown type of place. Like you want to get outdoorsy. But that's neither here nor there. Fire Kyle. Start Trey with all our weapons. Let Wilkes run the team and see what happens this year, won't though?
Eh,
As much as I
not
like
gonna
Wilkes
happen.
so far, I'm not super excited about having defensive head coaches because best case scenario, they have a good offensive coordinator who's gone in 2 years. It's like, and then you do that forever. Although the Seahawks have made it work despite that, but still, it's
But
hard.
they've had their years though where they were, I
Been
mean, they're
bad.
on the up again for sure. But how many
Yeah,
bad offensive game plans did we see over the years because they couldn't get the
disgusting.
offensive coordinator right? It
And
was
still,
nasty.
at best, their offense is vanilla. Like what they do over there is
Yeah,
very
for sure.
inside zone from shotgun, split belly zone from shotgun.
It's-
Over and over and over again. Okay. Manny Fresh says won't win with a mediocre quarterback and head coach always choking. That is tough. It's really tough. Kyle would say he's not a mediocre head coach. All right, man. Well, prove that you're better than just a really good coordinator. I don't know. I mean, I just the thing with Kyle is like that he can't run from or really explain is like, dude, you could say you're good at every single thing, but like the whole quarterback thing, can you develop this thing? Like you had a good couple months with Brock, then he got hurt. I mean, Trey got hurt immediately. Jimmy never got better. Like you got to show something with this position that you can that you don't just need like a Matt Shaw, Matt Ryan, Kirk Cousins type. You got to prove that.
Over or
Jimmy
under 13.5 starts for Jimmy Garoppolo this year. I'm going to take the over.
Under. As much as I want Kyle Shanahan to be embarrassed by that, I don't dislike Kyle. I just think it's Jimmy. I really do agree with Kyle about Jimmy. It's Jimmy. He can't move. He doesn't make quick decisions. He can't move. It's bound to happen. So you better have the best offensive line in the league, and the Raiders don't. They don't. Now I know they'll put him in the shotgun, and McDaniels will try to get a bunch of quick passes. All right, man. Let's see how long you can do that. Let's see. Kyle tried. It's hard.
The league has caught up to Jimmy Garoppolo.
It's really hard. Yeah. Bold prediction. Miss some super chats. So sorry. Glass half full guy. Have Trey and Kittle watched Step Brothers yet? Then they would be best friends. LOL.
Ooh.
It's true.
Who gets top bunk? Kittle for sure.
Kittle would definitely. Kittle would be Will Ferrell on that, right? No. He would be
John C.
the other
Reilly.
one. He would definitely be John C. Reilly telling him, "Don't
Yeah.
touch my drums. Don't you touch my drum set." And what's key is like for Trey to take over the team, he needs to touch that drum set right now. And you know what I mean? He has to do it. Brock Tom Ocean says, Jesse, if you could only have one Niner jersey, which jersey would it be? Grant, thanks for being you. LOL. Oh, you didn't even want to know? Because I don't want a jersey. All right, go ahead. Jesse, you answer the question.
Let's see. So all time, Steve Young. That's easy. I'm not a big jersey guy, but Steve Young for sure.
Me too.
And right now, I would probably go Debo.
Yeah, I like the Steve Young answer because for me, I don't think I could wear the jersey of a man who's younger than me. I don't know why. Or anyone. It's like I don't look up to you.
I'm not a jersey
I'm
guy.
older than you. I've seen things. Like, no. Like, it would have to be someone that I looked up to when I was young. So Steve Young counts. Someone from like a throwback, I would wear that just for the sake of it. Good question. Dave Barclay says Montana's awesome. That's what I've heard. Wish we had any team besides college, but I'm from Northern California. Montana's gorgeous on the western side of the state. Love to go.
I went to Montana when I was a kid and rode snowmobiles, and I had a blast.
That sounds
so
fun.
Thought it was beautiful.
I'd like to learn how to fly fish and then go fly fishing there. But fly fishing sounds like it's really hard. You got to make the little
I
dance.
can't.
You got to make it look like it's alive. Like, how do you do that? That's hard. Sudden Chaos says, thanks for being active in Discord. Here's $2. Yeah. Appreciate it, man. I'm working on that. No, what I do is I'm working here like in this little setup all day. So I got the Discord open, and every once in a while I'd be like, hey, what'd it do? You're right. I could do that. It's easy. Dave Barclay says, see what Adam said about Raiders and JG. Oh, yeah. I didn't read it that closely, but it seems like he's already getting nervous. But that was the most predictable thing ever. Hasn't
Yeah.
even
Oh,
OTAs
you
haven't
mean
even started
he
yet.
he doesn't think that Jimmy Garoppolo is an upgrade over his best friend Derek Carr? That's weird.
Did you read it?
No, I didn't, but I mean, I'm sure.
Hold on. Should we read it just for the show?
Yeah, but I don't think. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't think he was necessarily talking directly about Jimmy Garoppolo, but a lot of people made the assumption he was.
Okay, fair enough then. Let's move on. All Niners says, you know who isn't throwing at tight end? You, Sam Darnold.
That's
Let's talk about it. This is all very interesting. So Trey Lance is going to be throwing at tight end university this year. That is George Kittle's baby, essentially. And this is, I believe, year 3 of it. And this is significant. Is that correct? I believe it's year 3.
I feel like it's been around longer. I don't know why.
Okay.
Maybe it wasn't like official, but I feel like it's been around a while. Anyways,
time flies. Anyway, what's really important is that Trey Lance is going to be throwing, and he was not there last year. Apparently, he was invited and couldn't make it. Fill him in. This is very important.
yeah. So he was invited last year. Correct me if I'm wrong, somebody in the chat, but I think he had a conflict, like a scheduling conflict. He was training, dates didn't line up. He was unable to go, but he was invited. This year he's invited again. It sounds like he has accepted the invite, and he will be there with Josh Allen, of all people. I love this for Trey Lance because he worked out side by side with Patrick Mahomes for who knows how long. Now he's seen the best.
Yeah.
And arguably the second best quarterback. I think the second best quarterback clearly in the NFL is Josh Allen.
I would agree.
Now he's going to see him side by side. This is one of those things where it's like, listen, if you made a lot of the throws that Mahomes was making and now you can do it with Allen, this is a confidence booster. Not that he's lacking confidence by any means, but it can't hurt.
How could he not be after the 2-year horror story that's been the first 2 years of his career? I mean, it's got to be a shot to the confidence, even if
he may not be
resilient.
lacking confidence when it comes to his ability, though. He might be lacking confidence of like, hey, I don't know why this team doesn't believe in me. Or
he may not be lacking confidence, but he could use a boost. Couldn't hurt.
Sure. I agree.
It couldn't hurt. It couldn't hurt. Yeah.
So I love this. I love this for Trey Lance. And then again, here's the other thing that Trey Lance has to start thinking about is he might not be a 49er for long. And so now you're working out with tight ends across the league. You're networking. Other people start liking you. They put in a good word for you. This is very, very smart on Trey Lance's part. So I love this all the way around for him.
This is kind of like him getting out and like a basketball player getting out to like open runs in the offseason. Like, hey, man, no one knows who you are. You're the biggest mystery in the league. I mean, everyone's just going to fill in the blank and just assume that you stink. So get out there, meet people, show them what you can do. Measure up with Patrick Mahomes, measure up with Josh Allen. But to me, this is way more interesting than all. I mean, that's great too. But this is intriguing because it's like he didn't go last year, and Kittle invited him, and Kittle's pretty much the face of this team, and doesn't really feel like. I have the feeling that Kittle never really embraced Trey. I can't prove it, but that's my working hypothesis. So if Trey wants to win over this locker room, George Kittle's a good place to start. And you want to win over George, you got to go to tight end university. I'm so sorry. It probably feels like a waste of your time. It really probably feels like it might be a freaking waste of your time. Because what is he really doing? I don't know. But you got to go. You got to go. I'm not saying you got to laugh at his jokes. You got to show up, you got to work, and you got to show him that you mean business. And that, because I mean, with the Making It Rain video again, people like, where are you, dude? We don't know. This year, none of those questions. And you keep showing up and you keep working. So I think it's great. I just wonder, why not Darnold? Why not Darnold? Why Trey? Very interesting. Was this George's? Was this his judgment? Is he being smart? Is he thinking about what's best for the team and not just for what's best for himself? That'd be amazing. Or because let's say that's probably the most simple conclusion. Or is Kyle in his ear being like, hey, you better freaking invite Trey again, and Sam doesn't need to be there. I don't know. I wonder.
Yeah, it is. No, I mean, that's a good question. And the other thing, too, here's another thing that we have to think about. I've got to believe that there's going to be one-handed catches and good routes that are going to come out on other players' Instagrams and Twitters and all those other things. And guess who's going to be throwing them the ball? Either Josh Allen or Trey Lance. And so just all the way around, it's good marketing. It is a good way to win over the team. I've also got to imagine that Latu would probably be there. Probably all the 49ers tight ends are also invited. So, I look at this as a good thing.
I got a different interpretation. This just hit me.
Okay.
There's a lot of pressure going to tight end you. There's a lot of good tight ends from all over the league. If you go there and you stink, if you're everything Flave says you are, man, word's going to get out. Dude, Trey stinks, dude. He's awful. And him not going last year, knowing what he was going through with his finger, you could interpret it as like, you know what? I don't have the confidence to go do that. I don't know how it's going to go. It could go bad. The fact that he's going, the fact that he went and worked out with Mahomes, the fact that he's doing this shows a lot of confidence. Like, please let me show what I can do before people write me off. Please let me show what I can do. Like, I'm just glad that he feels that way. Because if he doesn't feel that way, then I don't have confidence in him. But he's definitely showing a bunch of confidence in himself all off season, and you gotta love it. So you got go deliver, man. Go show all those tight ends who you are. Like, go outshine Josh Allen right now. You don't have to, of course, but like that would be cool. That'd be a goal. That'd be a goal.
Yeah, I mean, you think about the way the offseason started, and he's doing the sleep number thing. He's on with Rich Eisen. He's doing the Super Bowl tour. And there's a part where he says he wants to compete, and then he ends the interview and calls out Fred Warner.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not going to show up to minicamp. You don't want none of the smoke. And all that sounds great, right? Like that gets you hyped up, kind of carries you through the offseason. But then you start to see the work that is going into it. And then you hear the rumors coming out from the last couple weeks when this team's been together. And you're like, oh man, maybe he meant everything that he said. Maybe he really is that confident in himself. And now he's going to tight end university to show it again. And now you get other players across the league. Maybe Darren Waller comes out and is like, this kid's really good. Or Travis Kelce, who plays with Patrick Mahomes, comes out and is like, yeah, man, this guy's the real deal. You start getting praises from guys like that potentially.
It means something.
This could be a boost.
Like, not to link this into the Warriors because a lot of people don't care, but that's what Jonathan Kuminga is trying to do right now.
Yeah.
Like, he feels he's been buried. He's about 20 years old. He hasn't got an opportunity. Couldn't fill a role in a championship team. He feels like he got screwed. Like, okay, like go play in every open run this offseason. Go play with LeBron. Go show him what you can do. And if it works out and you're right, like people are going to want to trade for you, or the Warriors going to be like, hold on, like we like you. All that stuff is within your power. And I think, Kuminga's kind of similar, right? Like you were a lottery pick. You felt this team was just super excited about you, and all of a sudden it's like they're on the brink of trading you, and you're like, whoa. Why don't you watch me for like a month? And before, let me change your mind about me. I love when a young athlete all of a sudden grows up in front of our eyes, like because it felt like Kuminga was a kid when the Warriors drafted him. It felt like Lance was a kid when the Warriors drafted. I mean, Kittle called him a kid. Now it's like, no, hold on. No, I am grown. This is my coming of age year. Watch me. I love that. You got to love that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And if I was his PR team, I would tell him, yeah, go to this thing. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Get your name out there, man. Do this.
What's the worst that could happen? You play poorly and people like think what they already think of you. Like they already think you're not good because people don't know what to think of you. So go prove them wrong. You got nothing to lose. Literally nothing to lose.
Yep.
You got to love that. Dave Barclay says worldwide fly fishing destination. That's Montana. The theme of tonight is Montana. If you have anything to say about Montana, write in. We're talking about a place that only Dave has been to, but we all would like to go. It's a Montana state of mind.
Yeah.
George L says, hi, Grant. Love your food vlogs. Thank you. Hope we can see more this upcoming season. Let's go Niners. I'm overdue. I'm overdue, man. I get a food vlog this week. I promise, for George.
When you travel, I mean, it's definitely something you got to do.
It's part of the. Yeah, absolutely. That's like the Saturday thing. It's fun. What do you eat? Like, what's the Pittsburgh thing? I gotta find that out.
See, that's where you got to start asking people.
Do they have a thing? I don't know. 49ers daddy says Lance working out with Mahomes and Allen same offseason. The league messed up. Lance must have been killing it in practices.
Hey, like I said, at the very least, if he comes away from those practices and says, hey, I can make all the throws these guys are making, that's got to be a huge confidence boost, because there is not, I mean, maybe Herbert fits that mold. Maybe Herbert's the only other quarterback right now at this current point in their career that can make all those throws that those guys make.
I would
So,
agree. Lance, from what Kyle said, the finger's not an issue anymore, and he fixed his base, which is what I've been talking about. A lot of people talk about, his release or it's not quick enough. Like, nah, I don't care. What I care about is the base. Kyle said he fixed it. So great. Great. I mean, it sounds like so far so good. Let's see what it looks like. I want to see myself, but so far so good. He might just make the strides they're hoping. And again, he's 23. He's younger than Will Levis.
I'm so excited for you to be there a
Yeah.
couple days and just give me the inside scoop of what's going on.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
looking forward to it.
What's the unfortunate thing about OTAs is like I believe they're gonna practice 3 days next week, like Monday, Tuesday, Thursday,
And you
and I'll be
get
there
a day.
for one of those days.
Yeah.
And so it's great. You get you get a snapshot, but you definitely don't get the full picture, and it's too bad. It's too bad because last year, if I remember correctly, Lance killed it in OTAs. At least I thought he did. In like the 3 OTAs I saw, he was great. And the stats I tallied up for him, I think he completed 70% of his passes. But I wasn't there for like 2/3 of the.
Yeah, but they have mandatories in June, I think. It's a 3-day
And you're there
mandatory.
for all those.
I think you get all those, yeah. So that'll be
It's
clutch.
true. Also, Kyle just cancels OTAs randomly.
I know he does.
It's like we're good. Glass F Full Guy, thank you so much. Kellen Edwards, thank you too. Addicted to Action, says George Kittle wasn't even his friend to begin with because his boy Jimmy left the Niners to the Raiders. Who is next? Juice. This veterans don't want Trey. Now they want him because he works out with Mahomes. Dang.
Addicted to Action. I feel like sounds like a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie in the early 90s or something.
I feel like he should have made that movie. Jean-Claude Van Damme was underrated.
Addicted to Action with Jean-Claude Van Damme. I can see it now.
What was his famous movie? Kickboxer?
Kickboxer, Bloodsport?
Yeah. Kickboxer's the one where he's just like always doing the splits, right? He'll be like
All
up on
of
a
them.
mountain
That's
thinking
what
about
he did.
everything, doing the splits.
It was
He's
always
just
the splits.
master.
Kickboxer's the one where he like at the end they dip their hands in glass and fight. Like that was the whole. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's intriguing.
Van Damme. Is Juice gonna go to the Raiders? Maybe. I don't know. Dave Barclay says started with Bosa jersey 3 years ago, then Trey Day after he was drafted, and Jimmy Ward last year. A respect. There needs to be more Jimmy Ward jerseys out there. So offense this year, but who? My fiance got Ayuk last year. I can only wrap my head around Rice. I'm 40 and remember them. Man, I think it'd be cool to bring back someone from the good old days, like John Taylor. That would be That would be kind of, deep.
That's the hard part about jerseys is if you don't get a guy who was a legend on the team, that's a big risk. They might not like Ward. He might be gone in a year. It's like, okay, well, I'm glad I spent $140 to wear this for 4 times.
But isn't the obvious answer if you're going to get like a guy on the offense now? Like, isn't it McCaffrey? Like, he's the guy he's the alpha on the offense now.
Yeah, but what are you going to get? 2 years out of him?
Yeah,
before he's ran into the ground.
Good point. Montana banned TikTok apparently. I'm not on TikTok, so it doesn't affect me.
Yeah,
Montana seems like they would. Montana seems like they would ban the internet and be like, we don't do that.
Just the internet.
What country living out
They're
here?
Like, we don't like Al Gore.
We just fly fish. Yeah, we just fly fish. I'm sorry. We don't like Al Gore at all. NG49 says, if I'm Trey, I'm looking at a smaller, less armed, talented, slower Brock and feeling like if this guy can do what he did, I can do better, Trey. That's exactly what he's thinking. Again, unless he has no confidence. He's looking at this like, oh my God, I could have done this. Oh my God, I could have done this. Like if just there had been some healthy players and like I got a little luck, it's so unfair. That's probably what. But I'm thinking Jimmy was thinking that too down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean he's got to be thinking that. I mean, talent for talent, he's going. This guy can't hold a candle. He can't hold a candle.
Ken Bone says, never been to Montana yet, but I live just north of it in Alberta, and BC have some beautiful places to fly fish. We're also talking about fly fishing tonight, if you didn't hear. Montana, fly fishing, Canada, Alberta, BC. I haven't been to BC. I'm definitely intrigued to go to Vancouver. It's so close to Seattle, which I've been to, and just love that city.
I went to Canada when I was 18, but I don't remember where I went.
I've heard nice things about Toronto. But again, like I'm not going to vacation. I'm not going to, hey, you want to go to Toronto for a week? Like if there was a football team, I'd be there.
Actually, I've heard Toronto's beautiful. So
I've heard it's super nice. Yeah. Maybe sorry for people who live in Toronto. I'll be more open-minded. Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey said something very interesting.
Yeah, he did.
Christian McCaffrey said that the trade to the 49ers is the best thing that ever happened in his career. In his life? I don't want to say his life. Hey, I think he said his life, though.
Yeah, I
And
think he
he's
did
married.
too. Yeah.
So that says something. What do you think?
Well, I guess my mind went to, okay, that's great, and I can understand why he would say that. But the question I have, and I'll pose this to you, is who do you think is better off from this trade? Do you think the 49ers needed CMC more than he needed the 49ers, or vice versa? Because the way that I
Mm,
see it is the 49ers should be happy. This was the biggest thing that happened in Shanahan's life. I don't know what that season would have looked like if they didn't get CMC.
good
They
question.
went undefeated with CMC. He was a clear difference maker
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah.
Debo got injured last year. If they don't have CMC, they don't have Debo, they don't have Mitchell, they might not make the playoffs, Grant. It would have been a
Yeah.
struggle. And if they do make the playoffs, they probably get bounced in round one. CMC, I think, is more important in the 49ers than the 49ers are to CMC, as much as it was the biggest thing that's ever happened in his life, or however he put it.
Yeah, it's fair. I mean, I think that why he said that, though, is like, it's not just that he's going to put up better numbers, because he put up really good numbers in Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
I just feel like you nothing counts when you're on the Panthers. Like, no one talks about you. The organization is terrible. Like, only way people notice you is if you're like really, really good. Otherwise, you're kind of playing in obscurity. You're not a celebrity, and who knows if you'll even get accolades. Like here, like Trent Williams, I felt like everyone like kind of knew he was really good, but as soon as he went from Washington to the Niners, all of a sudden everyone's like, he's the best player in the entire league. Like, really?
Right.
Now you say that at 34? Where were people saying that when he was 25?
Yeah.
So I think you just get talked about more. And all of a sudden, Christian McCaffrey's looked at as like the best running back in the league, pound for pound, if you count all things considered. Like, no one said that about him when he was in Carolina. Like, I think it's been good for him. I think it's been, now he's like, courtside. He's a red carpet guy now. But he likes it.
There was a 2-year run where he was like arguably in there, but it did seem like he had kind of fallen from grace. He had those injuries.
He
and
was
then
like a
it's like he
fantasy
was,
football star, but not
for
like a
sure.
celebrity. Like now
That's
he's like
true. That's true.
he's like a ESPYs guy,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. He's like a busting with the boys kind of guy, you know?
He's a bussin' with the boy. Now he was not bussin' with the boys before. Now he's officially
No.
bussin'.
Yeah.
And I
He's
think
on
he
all
likes
the
that.
buses with the boys.
True. So I see what he means by that. I don't think he wants to be a celebrity. I'm gonna give him that. I don't think he's like George. I just think he wants credit, and I think from his perspective, I don't know, what if he feels people hold things against him, if it's the injury history, if it's his Caucasianness at running back. I don't know what it is, but I think he feels that he always gets slighted. So now on the Niners, he's got the backing of Kyle Shanahan and a bunch of people that think he's really special, and he likes that. So he deserves it. He deserves it. He's a really good player who works hard and isn't like
he's a part of a winning organization now. I mean, that's for a guy like CMC who works as hard as he does, was arguably the best running back there for a couple years in the NFL. I think this does have to be rewarding. It's like, finally, I'm not just working to get paid or working to be the best at my position. I'm working to also win a Super Bowl. Finally, I think he seems like the ultimate competitor. And so for him, winning a Super Bowl really would mean something.
absolutely agree. Montana talk again. Haha, says Dave Barclay. Look up Glacier Lake. I certainly will. I missed a bunch.
My thing is, I just can't. I don't know if I can live in a place that just snows a ton for a big chunk of the year. I don't do cold very well.
Like, yeah, I'm so not just addicted to the internet, but like tied to it because it's how I make money. But like, it is kind of nice. I've been doing this for 3 or 4 years every day. The idea of like just going to Montana for 2 weeks and just be totally disconnected and just like read books and fish like it's 1930. Like that would be kind of fun. But I don't see myself doing it. I just don't.
Can't do it.
It'd be fun though.
Maybe
when I'm
I'm
older.
gonna be in Costa Rica at the end
Ooh.
of June for about
Ooh.
10 days. That's gonna be a nice
Ooh.
little disconnect. So
I might have to do that too.
kind of forces
You-
you know what I mean?
Well, my wife has a friend in Nicaragua,
Oh,
so we might have to go meet up,
do it.
kick it. Yeah, okay. All right. Going back, Dave Barclay says, Grant, you're right. 23 is my number, CMC. It's like getting a Terrell Davis jersey in 1996. It's like it's heaven. Probably a good time. Now's the time.
Probably.
Now's the time. Dave, although now he's probably going to, I don't want to jinx it, man. He's going to get hurt week 1 like the last two. The last two Niners starting running backs have gotten hurt week 1.
That's true.
They haven't gotten to carry 7. So McCaffrey, whoo, I don't know what it is.
Just sit
Final
out
destination stuff.
Just sit him out week 1.
David Baker, thank you very much. Very generous. $20. Thank you very much. Joseph Stockbridge, thanks for the Spotify uploads on lunch at work now. Oh yeah, only the real OGs know that I be constantly uploading my Spotify playlist with some good stuff. I made a Jazzy Faye playlist. All of Jazzy Faye's best productions.
Jazzy Faye? Jazzy Fizzle?
Like Jazzy Faye. Jazzy Fizzle, Product Shizzle. Also, Jermaine Dupri, who I thought, a lot of fun and it's kind of same era.
Good producer.
Montana. Glass half full guy. Is Grant allowed to at tight end you? I demand your report from there. LOL, JK. I should just show up like in a disguise. You'd be like, hi, my name's Ross.
Just wear a luchador. They'll let you in.
A luchador. Yeah. Just show up just super broed out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dave Baker says, how similar is McCaffrey to Rodgers? Who are we talking about?
What are we talking about? Aaron Rodgers? I don't think he's going on any dark retreats.
Maybe. I think that's what he's talking about in the sense that like now you're in New York and you're finally like, Green Bay is such a, it's just such an iconic franchise. Like, I don't know. Is he more famous now that he's on the Jets? Like one of the lamest franchises ever, but they're in New York. Actually, New Jersey.
Think so.
No disrespect to New Jersey.
Green Bay is football royalty. It just is.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
They call themselves Titletown.
Yeah.
Every street is named after someone who was with the Packers. Have you been there? It's amazing. Like
I've never
make it real clear. Like
love to
we only care about one thing. Get it real clear. We're about two. Football, cheese curds. That's it. Yeah. That's what we freaking do.
Yep.
Gotta love that. Dave Barclay says winners suck, Jesse.
That's what I would worry about. Yeah.
David Baker making it rain. Rodgers fishing off Highway 39, off 395 and close to Nevada City. Ooh, that's nice. That's nice. My brother has a spot up yonder way, sort of around Nevada City, Grass Valley. There's also a little tiny town there called Rough and Ready, and I have the hat because it's the best name of a city ever. Rough and Ready.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Jeez,
Rough and Ready. It's the name of town for real.
I don't know if that's yeah.
I know. What are they alluding to? The Gold Rush. It's Gold Rush Town. But now it's just, who knows? Tinker says, what in the tarnation? What in the world are we talking about? Today we're talking about Montana and fly fishing. You didn't get the memo?
Yeah.
It's a little bit of Niners mixed in, but mostly Montana and fly fishing. So let's keep the conversation on topic.
It's 49ers After Dark. It's like a whole production in itself. It's just wherever the conversation goes.
Now Dave Barclay and David Baker are talking to each other through the super chats in a very generous fashion. David Baker, I'm from Grass Valley. If you've never been to Grass Valley, it's very cool. It's got this whole downtown where they have like constant festivals and music things. There's always things going on. It's really nice for a small little town, Grass Valley. And it's like an hour away from Tahoe if you're into skiing and things like that. It's a good place to go. All right.
I like it.
Bleacher Report, which is the authority on the NFL in general and offense in particular, is ranking the 49ers number 6 in the entire NFL in offense. What do you think? Is this fair? Is this correct? Is this outrageous? Are you mad? Are you happy?
Again, it comes down to the quarterback position, man. The quarterback position, remember like in high school, some teachers graded you on a weight on how the rest of the class scored. That's what I feel like the quarterback position is. Like the weight of the quarterback position holds so much more value that even if you don't have some of the other things, it doesn't matter. It more than cancels it out because their order was Kansas City and Buffalo. That was 1 and 2, followed by the Bengals. I mean, we're talking arguably the 3 best quarterbacks in the NFL, 1, 2, 3. And that's how they rank their offense. which I understand. I totally understand it. Then they went Eagles, Cowboys, and 49ers. The 49ers are there. Like I said, if you remove the quarterback position, they might be number one. They got a lot of weapons, but those quarterbacks are really good. So I think it's fair. I also think that other teams like the Chargers and Dolphins deserve to be in that argument as well. I think that they could be in there potentially. So I think the 49ers are fairly rated. What do you think?
I mean, you got to rate them somewhere. It's just, I guess my question for the rater would be: hold on, are you assuming one of these quarterbacks plays and breaks out? In which case, what's your prediction there? Are you assuming that Brock's coming back and gonna just take off like he did last year? Okay, fair enough. That's the scenario you're laying out. Or you're like a big Trey Lance guy, and you think Lance is gonna fulfill his promise. Great, good to know. Or you're a Sam Darnold truther. Are you a Sam Darnold truther? Or, and this is what I suspect, I think what most people that say this about the Niners is they deep down feel like it doesn't freaking matter who the quarterback is. It doesn't matter who the right tackle is. Doesn't matter who the right guard is. Doesn't matter who the quarterback is. And that to me really does show how much respect Kyle Shanahan has in the league. And I don't know if he deserves it, but look, I mean, it seems like it's pretty unanimous from his peers to his critics. They think he can pull it off with whoever the hell at quarterback and whoever the hell at right tackle. So, hey, God love you, Kyle. I mean, maybe I'm a little skeptical. I think even a genius like you needs a little stability at the quarterback position. Hey, but what do I know, man? Prove me wrong.
Okay, so let's just go quickly team by team, and you say yay or nay. Yay, they're better, or no, they're not. Chiefs.
I mean, yay. Even without they lost their left tackle, and that's a big deal for them. Donovan Smith is the replacement, but still, yay.
All right, Bills.
Because I know they have Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, that's true.
Bills. I'm still saying the Bills have a better offense, even though the Niners have better weapons across the board because the quarterback.
Oh man, if the Bills get Dalvin Cook, watch out. Okay.
What about the Jets? I mean, you don't think about the Jets having a good offense, but now all of a sudden they go from having a horrendous quarterback to an all-time great. What's that going to do for them? Plus, they have a good defense. What about
the Jets? I mean, probably top to bottom, better offensive line too. They're pretty good over there.
You mentioned Miami. That's another one. I mean, very, very talented, fast offense.
Eagles.
I mean, yeah, the best offensive line in the league with some really good skill players too. I mean, I actually think they upgraded at running back this year, adding Swift and Penny. I don't think Sanders was that. Yeah. Sanders to me was like a running back who's constantly looking for the sideline. It's like, where are you going, dude?
Yeah,
you're not a quarterback. Hit someone. Like, get to the middle of the field. Where are you going? Why are you running to the sideline? I don't know. What team is he on now? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what team Miles Sanders is on. Yeah, sorry.
What team did he go to? God, I don't know why I can't remember that. I don't know. Anyways,
doesn't matter.
Who?
Yeah. Anyways, who? Huh? Yeah. So
Cowboys. 6? This one's close.
Mike McCarthy. I mean, I like the additions of Brandon Ayuk. I mean, excuse me, Brandon Cooks.
Yeah.
And I think Tony Pollard's a hell of a player, but Mike McCarthy, man. He's like the Doc Rivers of NBA. Of NFL coaches.
Yeah, good call.
So bad. Good call. Super like.
And what are you going to get with
Dak?
The past? I mean, I would take Dak over our quarterback room. Don't get me wrong, but
he's jittery, man. He seemed like he doesn't want any smoke. Like he had a gruesome injury, and he doesn't want anyone around him. So if you give him some space, a little time, he can throw. But I don't know. He looks real jittery when he plays the Niners. Yeah, everyone always say like, man, this guy's great. He's having a great year. And he plays the Niners. I'm like, yeah. This is the same Dak I saw last year, right? It's freaking awful.
Chargers.
Jacksonville.
They got Herbert. They got Eckler. They got Palmer. They got Williams.
Jacksonville. What if Trevor Lawrence is that guy?
Yeah.
Not the Raiders.
Not the Raiders. Not the Raiders.
Not the Raiders. All right.
Well, hold on. What about the Ravens now that they've gotten rid of their offensive play caller, who was ours? I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Greg Roman.
Yeah, Greg Roman.
Enough.
Now that he's gone, adding OBJ, J.K. Dobbins.
Yep.
They got another receiver
that's
in the
one.
draft.
I mean, honestly, if Lamar Jackson is healthy, you'd have to say that that's gonna be a really good offense.
Yeah.
But people are like, oh well, he's not gonna stay healthy. Like, okay, what about the Niners? This is funny which teams get skepticism and which ones don't. Like, oh well, yeah, I mean the Ravens, like they're but the Niners are like the team that can't keep their quarterback healthy. Oh, it doesn't matter.
Or just anybody. CMC,
Yeah.
Kittle, Debo. Like these guys are not exactly picture perfect when it comes to health.
If CMC gets hurt this year,
oh, dude,
it's not. They can survive without him, but oh man, like that's their pattern too. I hope we're not looking at that season because I really want to watch Prime CMC do his thing. Like he. I'm not saying he's going to be a Hall of Famer, but like if he puts together a couple 2-3 good years now, like he could make an argument. I mean, it only took Terrell Davis 3 great years to get in. You're on a high profile team. If you're the engine of it, you win a Super Bowl or two, and you have like a 2,000-yard season. Yeah, you could be a Hall of Famer. Like this is it. So, come on, man. We're all pulling for you, baby.
I know,
buddy. Yeah. Actually, I'm not pulling for you at all. I don't care. Do I care? I mean,
I am.
It could happen. Great. My bad,
care,
Roger. Yeah, I care. David Baker says, my bad, Roger Craig compared to McCaffrey. Okay. Roger Craig was a lot bigger than McCaffrey. Like 220 pounds. Like he was the high knees guy, was kind of vicious. I don't think McCaffrey's really accomplished what Roger Craig accomplished yet. Roger Craig he did it till he was about 30. He was on multiple championship teams. They're a little different, but I guess McCaffrey could challenge the legacy.
They're both great receivers.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about making a quarterback jobs easy. That's what both those guys can do.
I mean, Craig was before my time, but just watching games of him, very physical. Very physical. You know, Debo kind of reminds me of him. The way Debo runs between the tackles, like 220 pounds, high knees, like, God, like that looks painful to tackle. McCaffrey doesn't look painful to tackle. He'll just make you miss. And he's really strong and he'll like muscle for yards after but he's not hurting anyone.
No, Debo's looking for contact.
Debo's looking for contact, yeah. McCaffrey's looking to avoid it, and he's very good at it.
Yeah.
It's no knock. Dave Barclay says, oh, Roger Craig and CMC, Craig was better. Hey, man, he was 40. Double B Studio says, as I stand here with a half-shaved beard in the shower, I can't help but notice how similar the Warriors and Niners were this last season. Both fell short and won messy games. True, and both kind of had this like awkward 2 timeline thing, and it didn't really help the young guys, and now both teams are trying to like be like, okay, sorry, that was our bad, or try to do better. True.
Yeah, at least the 49ers haven't traded Lance yet.
Yeah. RS says Lance working out with Kittle tells me Lance is getting traded. Larry Krueger. Tea
leaves.
Shout out, Larry. I love you. That's a good roast. That was a good roast. Dave Barclay says, do you think one of the first 3 quarterbacks drafted break out? Bryce, Stroud. Man, that Texans team sucks. So no, not this year. Bryce. Who's he got?
Well, I mean, he got Foreman? Thielen, and he got
Thielen washed.
Yeah, he got Thielen, and I forget who else they got.
Nah. Oh, he's got Frank Reich. Oh, he's got it. Got it. I don't know. And then who was about this year? Richardson's
really good.
Richardson, I'm intrigued by. That's the one.
I just don't know if it happens this year. I don't know if it happens this year, but Richardson is.
He might have a better chance than the other two. To his question,
he's got Shane Steichen
waiting for Flave. Here he is.
He's got Taylor, and Pittman. Oh, him and Taylor. At the next point.
I'm saying, like, hey, if the Niners don't lead the league in rushing with Trey Lance, like that team could lead the league in rushing. It's going to be the Niners or the Bears or the Eagles or the Colts or another team. One of 32 teams is going to lead the league in rushing. I'm fairly confident. Flave says, if Jimmy has a better year than Trey this year, do the stands blame Kyle?
If Jimmy doesn't have a winning record, does Flave jump off his nutsack? That's the question. That's the real question.
You tried to keep it in. You like went back and you're like, no, I got to say this.
No, I can't. I got to.
Wow. That was, I think, the most risque Jesse's ever gotten. That was amazing. I liked it. Flave, you brought it out of him. David Baker says, I saw him play and got his autograph. You are so young. Thank you. I'll take it. You know what I like? When I go to a bar and they card me, I'm like, yes, read it. 88.
Read it.
Old as hell, 35. That's right.
Over
Thank
21
you.
for sure.
And when they don't card me, I'm like, are you sure? Look at me. I'm pretty young, right? I might be 21. You should probably card me. And they're like, you have gray hair, sir.
If you wear holy jeans, shave your face, and a hat, I could see it.
Makes my day every time. Dave Barclay says, if CMC gets hurt after I get the jersey, I blame myself. Bosa was out after I got his, then Trey, then Jimmy Ward broke an arm. I don't have a good track record, so if happened, I would quit present purchases. Yeah, maybe you should stop.
Buy any jerseys. Yeah,
Dave, you should probably stop. I think this is your fault at this point.
Don't buy any jerseys.
I'm watching Colts just out of curiosity. I'm telling you, they got the Eagles offensive coordinator. He worked with Hurts and he worked with Herbert before that. I think it's if you had to put Anthony Richardson in any scheme, it's that one. So,
you know what's funny is 2 months ago, I'd posted on Twitter my evaluation of the top 4 quarterbacks. And I said the 2 things I said about Anthony Richardson, not as raw as people think, and the best pocket presence of all 4 quarterbacks.
You said that.
And what comes out today from the Colts camp is he's not as raw as they thought, and he has great pocket presence. I'm like,
boom.
This was right there the whole time.
Hey, doubt Jesse. Who's doubting Jesse at this point? Not me. It's Flave who says such a Trey Stan answer. Nice. Well, got you.
It was a good answer. You got to give me some credit, Flav.
All right, before we finish the show, OTAs next week. Well, there's a practice next week that the media will be there. OTAs for the next few weeks, and then mini camp to wrap it up in mid-June. We're all watching quarterback competition, but like it would be also nice to have some reports on other players, some guys who are under the radar, guys who aren't making headlines. Who do you think the dark horse player to monitor in camp will be?
I've got 5 players, so I don't know how many you have. We can go back and forth, or
I have
can
0.
give my list. Okay,
you just
perfect.
give all of yours, and I'll just see if I can add to that.
Okay, all right. Kalia Davis, because I like that. I think this last year Kinlaw's with the team, and so they've got to find a rotational guy that can be a good run defender, do everything that they hope Kinlaw would do, and I think Kalia Davis might be able to be that guy. Might be DJ Jones in the making. We'll see.
That's how they sort of
Davis is
advertised him, right? They redshirted him. He was hurt, but they took him at that point in the draft, and he's supposed to be a DJ Jones type. Yep. So that'd be cool.
Yep. My next 2 are competing for the nickel corner spot, which is going to be super important this year. Isaiah Oliver and Samuel Womack. Remember, they lost Jimmy Ward, which he struggled early in that spot. He was pretty adamant that he didn't want to play nickel corner, but he was really good at it as time wore on. And it's going to be very important that one of those guys earns that spot and is pretty damn good. They can't have a big drop off there. So I would say Isaiah Oliver and Samuel Womack are guys to watch as well.
I like those. I got some other ones. Jason Poe. Remember Jason?
Ooh, yes, of course.
Joey Fisher. These 2 guys are playing right guard at rookie minicamp. I'm not sold on Spencer Burford. I know, like, I don't know what to think of Spencer Burford. He played as a rookie, which is commendable. Aaron Banks couldn't do that. But at the same time, like, he wasn't good at all. He was the worst player in the offensive line, and he couldn't even play full games. So I'm not just going to assume that he's going to improve. Could he? Absolutely. In which case, that's your job. If not, he kind of just lacks strength. And Joey Fisher doesn't. Jason Poe doesn't. Those dudes really anchor. So I'd like to see if Spencer Burford still is kind of getting pushed around a little bit and still is more potential than actual production. What about these 2 like Herculean right guards that you got? And I know Joey Fisher has short arms. So does Elijah Vera Tucker over in on the Jets. Like, I was actually looking. There are some guards that have some short arms, but what Elijah Vera Tucker has, who went to my high school, shout out Bishop O'Dowd, really freaking strong.
Yeah.
And that's just not Burford right now. Well, maybe he is. We'll see.
Well, let's also not forget that Feliciano's here. This is a veteran who started last year on an offensive line. He could easily slide in and take that job. So I think it's a really good one. Burford
probably has a better chance than Joey Fisher, too, if we're being honest.
Yeah, maybe.
For keeping it a buck.
Yeah, if we're keeping it a whole buck.
Keep it a buck.
You usually keep it 99 cents. Yeah.
99.
I got two more. And I
Okay.
think these are bubble guys and interesting names because they were both drafted last year pretty early. Danny Gray and TDP.
Yeah.
These
Those
are guys
guys
that
are
might
on
not
the
even make
chopping
the
block
team.
quicker than most third-round picks would be, and it's not
Yep.
even necessarily their fault, but you just don't get a long runway here. You gotta show something now. What do you got?
Can we pound the table for Ja'Cory Pearson to get a shot as well? My gosh.
What are they
Get
waiting
this guy,
for? He torched your guys at your rookie minicamp.
Yeah.
I mean, look. You gave Isaiah Winstead a 90-man roster spot, and I think he deserves it. Great story, but Ja'Cory Pearson was better. So what are you waiting for? I'm not saying take the spot away from Winstead, but like if you can find one for him, I'm thinking you can find one for Pearson too. I don't know.
If the 49ers don't pick up Pearson, can you see a scenario where he ends up with, I don't know, maybe Patrick Mahomes and puts up 600 yards and kills the 49ers on some end rounds this year in the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Like I could.
Yes.
So, like, give him a shot at least.
Absolutely. Or he could go back to Seattle. He was playing with the Sea Dragons. He could go to the Seahawks. I don't know, but I don't just seem like he's the kind of guy who, I mean, what? Again, nothing against Isaiah Winstead. What did he do? He posted some practice videos. Dude, this guy came to your camp and dusted people. Winstead didn't do that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying right off Winstead, but like this dude, it should have impressed you. I think. I don't know.
He's been competing for like a year straight. And I don't know if you ever watch him, but I mean, must see YouTube videos. Destroying. He does his one-on-one wide receiver versus DB videos, and he pays out $10,000. He won like 6 of those things. And then he goes to the XFL, is the leading wide receiver there in the whole league in catches and
I love
yards.
this guy.
And now he's fighting for a spot in the NFL. He's going to get picked up by somebody. And I would not be shocked if he's a difference maker. Even as a kick returner, I mean, I could see Dante Hall type things happening. I'm just saying, give him a shot.
Yeah, why would you not? I don't know. Like, is Daz Newsome really going to do more? There's some wide receivers in the night. I don't know.
The ultimate competitor, man. He's been competing for a year straight against.
What's the point of even bringing in tryout guys if you're not going to take them seriously when they kill it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I will say, though, he looks funny in his pads. I'm looking at him like, whose little brother got on the field? What happened?
He's got his own clothing line and a cool nickname. He goes by JPZ. Like, come on, man.
He's so good. He's so good. Maybe he's just like, you know, the minicamp all-star, like the shorts and shells all-star. I don't know, but I'd like to find out before the Seahawks do.
I'm not trying to sell the XFL as the NFL by any means, but if you were the best in the whole league and there are other players getting invites and making teams, you might want to consider them. Just going to throw it out there.
Dave Barclay says, when did Fan become Stan? Born in 82. Roughly 2000. Eminem.
Yeah.
There's a song
Eminem.
about his biggest fan, Stan, who was like a stalker. And he was really creepy. And most of Eminem's music really aged poorly. Like that song is just off-putting and unlistenable.
Yeah.
Just terrible. It's one of the worst songs ever written. Stan. That's the thing. We use that word all the time. Go back and listen to Stan right now. Tell me if you make it all the way through. There's a feature. It's sung from this point of view of Stan writing like really creepy letters. And in the background, I don't know who, maybe Dr. Dre decided that they should have like a pencil noise. Like,
yeah, scribbling.
It's like, shut up. And then the chorus. Oh my God. So definitely one of the worst songs ever written for sure. So if you want to know, Dave, go listen to that song. Tell me if you make it through it. Ryan G. Kenzie says, don't spend this all in one plane. My grandma.
He's saving money up for that Flave bet.
My grandma used to give me rolls of pennies, $2. It'd be 4 rolls. So nice. But I was like 3. I got $2 in pennies. Flave says, not a very Christian response. Oh, come on. I definitely bring that up in your next confession. Don't want that one on the old record.
Yeah.
I don't hurt Flave's.
Maybe. I don't know. The one thing that I don't tolerate though is people bringing up religion in any sort of like sports argument. Like Sorry,
Silly.
it was a dude response, and I'm not apologizing. So
Yeah, be a dude or a bro. Angel Sanchez says, with all the wide receivers we have, who's going to blow out?
Like in a good way or a bad way?
That's
Like
a
a
good question.
blowout, like a New Jersey like haircut, like from the Jersey Shore,
Ray
one
Ray.
of those things?
Ray.
Ray
If we're
Ray
talking
should be
hair.
good.
If we're talking hair.
Yeah,
'Cause he's
for
got
sure.
it.
Yeah, the Ray Ray. Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. I mean, I think all eyes on Danny Gray. Like, what you got? Year 2. Is there something there? Because I'm skeptical. I'm not sure that there was ever anything there. We'll see. I'm not writing him off, but I didn't see it. Made a couple catches. I mean, he made a couple catches down. Like, is there anything you can do besides run deep? I want to know. Can you run a square in and catch the ball? Can you run a slant and catch the ball?
Yeah, he's got it.
Can you run it out and catch the ball? Like, what is your route tree? Because they said he's deep threat and he's a yak threat, or he can do like screens and stuff. Like, okay. Anything else? Like to know? Maybe. I'm not saying no.
Do you think Ja'Cory Pearson could do everything that Ray Ray does, but at a much cheaper price?
I mean, I haven't seen that much. I haven't seen how he like Ray like is not afraid of contact. I don't know about Ja'Cory, but he no. But
he runs around contact.
Ray Ray's freaking tough, dude. Yeah, I mean, Ja'Cory played in the XFL. I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, dude, like I'd like to see a second practice.
He's so different than anything else, not only on this team, but most of the league.
Hell yeah, I'm glad that clip got leaked because when I saw it, I was like, what? So I'm glad everyone else had that reaction. Double B Studio says Eagles' schedule looks tough, and the Niners in the middle of it. Niners will stomp them with any QB. Niners defense is younger and faster, right? I mean, that's not what happened last year. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, not any QB. Definitely not any QB. We know the answer to that is no.
I mean, they're so big and overwhelming on their D-line. The Niners' offensive line had a tough time matching up. They're kind of small on the right side.
Yeah.
But they have better tight ends now.
They still have 3 guys that have gone over 10 sacks at least once in their career on that defensive line, and that's not including Fletcher Cox. So I think the overstatement that their defensive line just got extra weak because we took one player from them, I think it's a bit overstated. Plus, they went and added multiple guys from Georgia. Yeah. So
they've spent top 15 picks on D tackles 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
So see. Dave Barclay says, hope Kyle watches these. It was obvious months ago. Oh, I'm pretty sure he watches. He has good taste. 209er says Flav's hurt. Y'all are the best. Only 2, I sub 2.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, man. Never forget Flav Gate, says Clayton. I don't know.
I don't know.
I guess I forgot. Dave Barclay says, I'm good on listening to him. Flav's favorite, though.
Like these chats like turn into like sidebar fights against Flav. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. Clayton, ha 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 ha. Flave says Flav fan club going off tonight. Donate more, fellas. Man. Again, Flav has created his own logo, which is the best part about Flav.
I actually think it's
he
funny.
Is a brand.
I do like it.
I think it's really funny. I think he's leaned into his entire persona, which is a good thing.
For sure.
All right, man, it's 7:15. I assume you got something coming up like right now.
Yeah, I'm going to do a call-in show here in a bit. I'm probably going to push it off till 10:25. I got to make a call.
All right, cool.
So yeah, in 10 minutes, call-in show. You too can call in. Flav, you can call in. We can talk Sam Darnold.
Flave, call in. Tell everyone what you got. Let people know why Sam Darnold is that guy.
Yeah, there we go.
As you've been telling people. Dave Barclay says, just trying to get my guys to Red Lobster.
What about Sizzler, man?
Yeah, Sizzler's also good. All right, the show is over. Thank you so much for the donations. I'll be back tomorrow. Take care. See ya.